Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos. I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So quite a lot of things to discuss about on this current video today. So if you do consider dropping likes and if you do consider subscribe as always. So first topic of development is regarding Ole Gunnar Solsjaer and Marcus Rashford. As it did confirm in the media yesterday that Ole Gunnar Solsjaer and Marcus Rashford had both won monthly awards for January. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won the Premier League Manager of the Month for January due to his fantastic start that he's had with Manchester United. And Marcus Rashford, based on his fantastic performances, the goals he's been scoring, his finishing's improved and everything, and he has now got that end product. He currently won the Player of the Month, did Marcus Rashford as well. So both Solskjaer and Rashford have won monthly awards as that has officially confirmed, as I said. But today, as I have been reading up in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come out with some stuff in the media saying that he said he's taking things slowly. He isn't, like getting cocky out or getting over carried away. Solskjaer's coming out in the media saying that it could take Manchester United 2 years to catch Manchester City, and he said basically Manchester United are 2 years away from being potential title contenders, and this is what basically Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has mentioned in the media. So he feels as though it could take Manchester United 2 years to catch Manchester City, and he said we are like 2 years away from being potential title contenders, because he does admit obviously this season obviously we're not going to win it because obviously we're too far behind him and all that as he has confirmed. But I think Solskjaer, basically in my opinion should get the job on a full-time basis, as I said, and he'd love to get the job on a full-time basis, and I think Solskjaer does now remain the number one target. I think now he's favoured to get the job on a full-time basis, because I think he's actually blatantly asked Ed Woodward if he can have the job permanently, because if he does get the job permanently, I think Solskjaer has promised, great things, at Manchester United if he can get the job permanently, as he's currently, mentioned in the media. And I think, our vision is to get us back, our vision is to, get us winning trophies, and basically for us to basically, re-emerge as that dominant force as we were under Alex Ferguson for 27 years, get us back, winning trophies on a regular basis. But I do think we have at least still a couple of years, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, for winning the title, because obviously we do know that we need reinvestment in the summer. We do need to get some new additions into the squad in this summer, because obviously we do expect players, to be leaving Manchester United. We expect like 3 or 4 players, to be leaving in the summer. I expect, quite a lot of experienced players, to leave Manchester United in the summer. So obviously, we do want adequate replacements, as I said. But Solskjaer feels as though we're 2 years away from, putting a title challenge up, and he says it could take us 2 years, to catch Manchester City. But as I did say, we have I think Solskjaer should get the job on a full-time basis, as I currently said, because in terms of Mauricio Pochettino, I do think, as I do keep saying, I think he's a very, very good manager, and I'm not criticising for what he's done, because he's done a really, really good job with Tottenham. He's been there 5 years. He's got a really, really good record with Tottenham. He had a good record when he was at Southampton, but in terms of winning silverware and all that, he hasn't done that as a manager as Mauricio Pochettino. And Solskjaer would be a cheaper alternative for us, as we all currently know, because obviously if we were to recommend Pochettino, and it would cost us around 40-50 million pounds, to recommend Pochettino in, because obviously he signed a 5-year deal last summer with Pochettino with Tottenham Hotspur. But as Danny Levy confirmed a while back that he doesn't basically he doesn't want Pochettino to leave, and I don't think Pochettino will leave Tottenham anywhere, because I think he's happy at Tottenham and he's fully committed to Tottenham. And obviously I do think Tottenham will finish in the top 4 this season without a shadow of a doubt, considering that they've got Kane and Dele Alli out injured, as I currently said. But I think Mauricio Pochettino, feels happy at Tottenham. So I think now Solskjaer does remain the number one, choice, to get the job on a full-time basis at Manchester United, because the difference between Solskjaer and, Pochettino, Solskjaer's proven, because he's won trophies in that, because he won trophies as a player, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for 11 years under Alex Ferguson, he won trophies. Scored loads and loads of goals and all that as well, and even won trophies when he was managing the Manchester United reserve team, because he watched his team, some of this team, grow and develop. In the reserve team did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was currently managing the reserve team. But I think Solskjaer should get the job on a full-time basis. And yeah, it was disappointing that we didn't make any signings in January, but as Solskjaer said, he didn't expect us to make any signings throughout the January window. But obviously Manchester United board are planning, to make signings in the summer. Reports coming out saying that we're going to get around a £200 million spending spending spree to spend in the summer. But Solskjaer is going to have a big say on our transfer plans in the summer, as he has officially confirmed, as I said. But he would like the job on a full-time basis, as he has confirmed, because obviously our objective this season is to get top four. We beat Fulham today. We go above Chelsea by 1 point before they play, City tomorrow, as I said, and hopefully we can progress in the FA Cup as well. And we've got a great chance of winning the FA Cup. We've got a great chance of winning the FA Cup. We've got to get past Chelsea first and all that, but I think if we get past Chelsea, we can win the FA Cup, as I said. And Solskjaer, since he's come in, he's got the players to express themselves, get them enjoying playing football. He does know his best 11 as well. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He doesn't rest on his laurels. He does show that inspiration. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said, and he has been rotating the squad, since he's coming. As Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he has been rotating the squad, giving some of the young players the chance, as I currently said. But Solskjaer does know his best 11, as I currently said, which is a very good thing, as I said. But as I did say, Manchester United play Fulham today at Craven Cottage. So far under Solskjaer, 10 games undefeated, won 9 out of 10, 25 goals scored in the process. Rashford, I think, scored like 6 goals in the last 8 games, for Manchester United. So it's 9 out of 10 wins we've had under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think we've won 5 on the road, 4 in the league and 5 in all competitions as well. So Solskjaer's doing an absolutely fantastic job. Ed Woodward has praised him, for the job he's done so far at Manchester United, because you can see the team are playing with confidence, the team are motivated, they're creating more chances, scoring goals. Defensively, we'll look so much better as well. I think in the midfield, we'll look so much better as well. And I think you can see all the vast improvements in the team, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming in. We're all aware that we do need a strong central defender. We need someone on that right hand side. We may need a centre defensive midfielder as well. That's quick and fast and tenacious and all that. Because as I said, the majority of our attack is coming from that left hand side. But obviously the Manchester United board are planning, to make signings in the summer, as we all know. And obviously we're still looking to hire a director of football, to come in as well before we do commit to any future signings, as I currently said. But going into the Fulham Manchester United game today, as I've already done my preview a couple of days ago. I think Chong has travelled with the rest of the Manchester United squad. That Chong, young player who actually he played against Reading in the FA Cup third round. He came on as a substitute, but I think he's reportedly travelled with the Manchester United squad. But as I did say, I didn't watch his press conference, but I think today against Fulham it's 12:30 kickoff. I think to be honest with you, that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Will rotate the squad. As I currently said, he'll rotate the squad. He'll make quite a few changes with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said, because obviously we've got big game. We've got PSG coming up on Tuesday, then it's Chelsea in the FA Cup, then it's Liverpool in the league. So I think he's going to rest some key players. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for them big games, that are coming up. So I think he'll rotate the squad, differently today. Will Solskjaer probably maybe give Lukaku a chance, Sanchez a chance. He may even start Fred. He may even even Diego Dalot or however you pronounce his name, may come into contention as well. So yeah, and I think Smalling could be starting, today as well, because obviously Chris Smalling's recently been injured with a foot injury and he hasn't played a game yet under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Chris Smalling, and obviously he's recently been injured. So reports are coming out saying that he could play against his former club today as well, could Chris Smalling. But we know mainly, I think, in our central defensive line, I think Lindelof and Bailly are the best options, because I think they complement each other very, very well. And I think Bailly and Lindelof, are on a different level to Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, Eric Bailly and Victor Lindelof. But as I did say, I think he will be rotating the squad, today. Will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as that has confirmed. But should be an easy win for Manchester United today against Fulham. Fulham are playing really, really poor, as we all know, sitting in the relegation zone. Lost 16 games this season, got one of the worst defensive records in the Premier League. We haven't lost to them, of course, since 2009. Fulham, they've got injury concerns as well of Fulham of their own, as I've already said. They've got Alfred Mawson out. They've got Marcus Beninetti out as well. Fossamento's not injured, but he won't be playing as that has confirmed. Fulham they've got a few other players out as well through injury. Fulham, as that has confirmed. From my point of view, where Marcus Rojo's reportedly returned back to training, but he's not going to be fit enough, to feature in this game against Fulham, as I currently said. But I do feel as though Solskjaer, will be rotating the squad in this game. So this is his 11th game as Manchester United manager, and hopefully today we can make it 10 wins out of 11, which would be a fantastic game indeed. But as I did say, there's a there's quite a lot of teams, you know, going for that top four, as I said. Obviously, my club, Manchester United, are going for the top four. Chelsea are obviously going for the top four. Arsenal are going for the top four. Arsenal are probably the underdogs, you know, out of the teams, you know, that are going for the top four. But from a Chelsea point of view, they're going for the top four, obviously, because because I've just had a call there. They're going for the top four, obviously, because it did say basically in the media that Chelsea are basically well, Sarri's basically under pressure. If Chelsea do not get top four this season or don't get Champions League qualification for next season, reports have been coming out saying, you know, that Sarri could be sacked from Chelsea, because this was actually stemming, you know, from Roman Abramovich. Obviously Roman Abramovich, who is currently the Chelsea owner, is a billionaire, and he came out in the press saying that it could be possible that Sarri could get sacked from Chelsea if Chelsea do fail to get a top four. But obviously Chelsea and Arsenal are in the Europa League, and obviously we know Chelsea are known for sacking managers, as we all know, because they've sacked quite a lot in a short period of time. You know, they sacked Conte, even though he won the Premier League and FA Cup, I think, in his first season. You know, they sacked Mourinho, they sacked Avram Grant at one point, they sacked Scarali, they sacked Villas-Boas. So Chelsea have sacked, you know, a number of managers in a short period of time. And this is only Sarri's first season, of course. So I think Chelsea basically do need to back him more, because it's only his first season. He only joined them last summer. And Chelsea, you know, did get Gonzalo Higuain into their team in January. They've obviously confirmed the signing of Pulisic, but he's loaned back to Borussia Dortmund, but he won't be officially playing for Chelsea until next season. Chelsea agreed a £58 million fee, you know, with Borussia Dortmund. As I said, they will be disappointed, you know, Chelsea, that they didn't find an adequate replacement for Cesc Fabregas. But obviously Chelsea will be planning, you know, to get a replacement for Fabregas in the summer, as I currently said. So they didn't get the replacement for Fabregas, and and Chelsea, you know, will be making plans for the summer. But they could see still some of their other players, you know, are leaving the summer as well. Could Chelsea? Could see, you know, maybe David Luiz go if he doesn't sign a contract extension, of course, aging up. Gary Cahill, there was speculation of him leaving throughout January. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi, you know, could be leaving Chelsea in the summer as well, because reports are coming out that about that in January in relation, you know, to Callum Hudson-Odoi. That obviously Bayern Munich were heavily linked with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Bayern Munich in the process had held negotiations with Chelsea. Bayern Munich, I think, had put around 3 or 4 bids in. I think Chelsea had turned three of these bids down, but Bayern Munich were willing to offer him the number 10 shirt, because Bayern Munich obviously are looking to get some young players into their team, because obviously Arjen Robben's set to leave them in the summer. And I think throughout his playing career, Arjen Robben's been very, very good, but I think he's known for injuries, and obviously he's an injury-prone player. And obviously they've got some other injuries of Bayern Munich as well. But actually, throughout the January transfer window, Callum Hudson-Odoi did put out a transfer request, and he did clearly want to make the move to Bayern Munich. But Chelsea were reluctant to let him leave. Chelsea were trying to convince him, you know, to sign him a new contract with around £80,000 a week. But Callum Hudson-Odoi had turned this down. But I don't think he's played in the Premier League this season for Chelsea. But due to the lack of game time he's been getting, that's why there was speculation of him leaving. And this is why Callum Hudson-Odoi, you know, did want to leave Stamford Bridge. But I think Bayern Munich, you know, will probably, revive their interest in him in the summer, and try and get him away from Chelsea in the summer. And he's been a Chelsea player since the age of 8, as Callum Hudson-Odoi, as I said. But Bayern Munich were the team that, of course, that were heavily linked to him, of course. So he could go in the summer as well. But obviously now, and obviously Eden Hazard could go in the summer as well. And in relation to Eden Hazard, I do want to give you an update on Cesc Fabregas, the former Chelsea player. Is actually convinced that Eden Hazard will sign a new deal at Chelsea. Reports have been coming out, you know, in the last week or so, that I have been hearing that reportedly he has revealed that he has made a decision on his future, Eden Hazard. He hasn't publicly announced it, but reports have been saying that he's privately, you know, announced a decision. He's privately announced a decision. And I think he does intend, you know, to make the move to Real Madrid in the summer, as that is confirmed. So I think he's intending, you know, to make the move to Real Madrid, is Eden Hazard. Reportedly, Chelsea have said Chelsea have got a price tag of around £100 million. So it will cost Real Madrid around £100 million, you know, to get Eden Hazard in the summer. But reports coming out saying that reportedly Eden Hazard had made his decision. His decision has been made on his future. And I think he did say he's expected to tell Chelsea, you know, that he does want the Real Madrid move in the summer, as that is confirmed. Real Madrid are maybe convinced that they could get him for less than £100 million. If they do offer one of their players in exchange, maybe, Isco or Marco Asensio, as I currently said. But obviously, if Eden Hazard does go in the summer as well, Chelsea will obviously, want an adequate replacement for him as well. But Eden Hazard's been a very, very good servant in English football, as I said. He's been in the Premier League, since 2012. So he's been in the Premier League, 7 years now as Eden Hazard. As we all clearly know, made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions, scored over 100 odd goals as well as Eden Hazard. He can play as attacking mid, can play on the left, as we all clearly know. Obviously, his favourite position is on that left-hand side, is Eden Hazard. Chelsea can try to, get him a new contract at the club. His current deal ends in 2020, which is next summer. Well, which is next summer, the summer of next year, as we all know. But as I did say, Chelsea were willing to offer him around 300 odd £1,000 a week, for him to stay at Stamford Bridge, as that did confirm. But reports being that Chelsea have showed an interest in Philippe Coutinho. Reports being coming out, they've identified him as a replacement for Eden Hazard, Philippe Coutinho, because obviously Coutinho's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, since he's been at Barcelona. He's only been there just over a year at Barcelona. Obviously, he's the third most expensive player, with Barcelona, just behind, Mbappe and Neymar, is Coutinho. He's still got a long contract at Barcelona, but again, a lack of game time this season as Philippe Coutinho. He probably would cost in the region of around 90, £100 million, but obviously he's nowhere near the player, that he was, when he was at Liverpool, because he grew and developed well at Liverpool. He flourished very, 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 very well with Liverpool. He had 4 or 5 great years, with Liverpool, did Philippe Coutinho. As I said, he's versatile as well. He can play as an attacking mid, can play on the wing, can play as a second striker, so he is versatile as we all know. 26 years of age, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him, and he is Premier League proven, of course, because he had 5 good years with Liverpool, as I said. He obviously at one point played at Espanyol, when he was on loan, and he was under the management then of Mauricio Pochettino, and this is when obviously Coutinho was young in his prime. He actually began his senior career with Inter Milan, did Philippe Coutinho, as I said. But according to the Barcelona president, he said he's basically not for sale in the summer, as that has confirmed. But I think if this does persist and he's not living to expectation levels, Coutinho, and he's not getting the game time he demands, he may consider making a move in this summer, as I currently said. But it's also said my club, Manchester United, have also monitored an interest in him as well. But in the process, I don't really see it happening, to be quite honest with you. I don't really see it happening, to be quite honest with you. But obviously in relation to Eden Hazard, before he hadn't been playing that well, obviously, because he wasn't playing in his favourite position. Obviously, Sarri was playing him in a false number 9 position, as that I confirmed. But obviously now, I think he'll regain his form again, now will Eden Hazard, because obviously now they've got Gonzalo Higuain in. So this now allows, obviously, Eden Hazard to play back in his favourite position, on the left-hand side, for Chelsea. But as I did say, I think, Higuain, will be a great sign, for Chelsea, as I said. He's proven his scoring goals, and that he's a good prolific goal scorer, as he has proven, throughout the majority of his playing career, Gonzalo Higuain. And I do think he's a very, very good signing for Chelsea, as I said. But obviously, Chelsea's plans are to, get a replacement for Cesc Fabregas in the summer, as that has confirmed as well. But obviously, Chelsea go to Manchester City on Sunday, as I've already done my preview for that game, as you've already seen. It's at the Etihad Stadium, as I currently said. Obviously, Manchester City obviously are going to be the favourites, to win the game, because their home form's very, very good. Obviously, they've regained their form now, since that defeat, they had to Newcastle, Manchester City, as we all clearly know, beating Arsenal very, very well last Sunday by 3-1. Aguero scoring an hat-trick. We saw City, beating Everton comfortably, midweek by 2-0 at Everton as well. So basically now, as it stands, City are sitting top of the Premier League. Liverpool can go back top today if they do beat Bournemouth, as I currently said. But this season it's between Liverpool, City, and Tottenham for the league. Probably Tottenham won't win it, so it's probably between Liverpool and Manchester City. It's probably between Liverpool and Manchester City this season, as I currently said. But going into that Manchester City-Chelsea game, as I currently said, it's at the Etihad Stadium. In the last 21 meetings, as I said, in all competitions, City have won 13. There's been 3 draws, and Chelsea have won 8 in the current process. The last couple of meetings, Chelsea did beat them at Stamford Bridge early on in the season. City beat them in the Community Shield, at the start of the season as well. But City at the Etihad at the Etihad this season. You know, they have beaten us 3-1. You know, they beat Arsenal there. You know, they beat Liverpool there as well. So they are very, very good at home, Manchester City. But City have obviously still got injuries, you know, to Claudio Bravo, as we all currently know, he's a long-term absence. Benjamin Mendy could return back in the team. They've also got Vincent Kompany out through injury as well of Manchester City. But in my opinion, I think it'll be a Manchester City win. City have obviously scored 68 goals this season. You know, only conceded 20. Won 20 games at won, won 20 games out of 26 as well of Manchester City, and obviously sitting top of the Premier League, level on points above Liverpool, but his goal difference is obviously better, as I currently said. But it will be a good game, you know. City and Chelsea is always a good game. Obviously, both of the teams are going to be meeting in the Carabao Cup final very, very soon as well, because City beat Burton 9-0 in the semi-final. Well, it was 10-0 on aggregate overall, as I said, because City beat them 1-0 away from home as well. Chelsea obviously got past Tottenham in the semi-final as well, so it's Chelsea and Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final. That will be a very, very good cup final, because obviously City won the Carabao Cup last season, beating Arsenal 3-0, and obviously won the Premier League last season as well. Did Manchester City, was it by about 18, 19 points or something like that? But yeah, it will be a very, very good game, you know, between City and Chelsea, as I currently said. But as I did say, my predictions are Manchester City to beat. I think Manchester City will beat, you know, Chelsea. I think it'll be 2-1 to Manchester City. Chelsea did get back to winning ways, you know, against Huddersfield, as I currently said, you know, winning by 5-0. You know, Eden Hazard scoring 2, you know, Gonzalo Higuain, you know, scoring 2 as well. And Chelsea, obviously, before that, suffered a really, really bad defeat to Bournemouth. You know, 4-0, Bournemouth beat them. You know, that was Chelsea's worst defeat in 23 years. So that is over 2 decades, as we all know. And we know the pressure is on Sarri, of course, as I said. But the likes of Eden Hazard and Gonzalo Higuain and that, you know, could potentially cause problems for Manchester City, as I said. So Chelsea have got some class in their team, you know, that could cause problems for City, as I currently said. But I think definitely Eden Hazard is the third best player in the Premier League behind Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. I think Kevin De Bruyne is the second best player in the Premier League. He'll likely be playing on Sunday, will Kevin De Bruyne, in that game, because De Bruyne and the likes of Raheem Sterling didn't play against Everton midweek, as we all currently know. But yeah, it will be an interesting game, as I currently said. It will be an interesting game, as I currently said. But so I've got a bit of cold. But in relation to Manchester United, yes. So as I am updating you, Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solsjaker and Marcus Rashford have both won monthly awards. Solskjaer's won the Premier League Manager of the Month. Rashford's won the Player of the Month as well, as I currently said. But there's still contract renewals, you know, that we have got to sort out at Manchester United, as we all currently know. There's still contract renewals, you know, where we've got to address them, as we all currently know. As it did confirm in the media yesterday that we currently got Phil Jones signed a new 4.5-year deal at Manchester United with an option of a further year, which does take him under contract term until 2023 with Manchester United. Obviously, a lot of Manchester United fans were very, very annoyed about it, including me myself. I was very, very annoyed about, you know, Phil Jones, you know, signing a new contract at Manchester United. You know, to be quite honest with you. The reason is I was frustrated because obviously I think Phil Jones is crap, you know, to be quite honest with you. Is he what, age 26 now, Phil Jones? You know, he has been here, of course, you know, since 2011. You know, we paid what, £17 million, you know, for Phil Jones, and you know, he's been here what, 7-8 years now, Phil Jones. We did get him from Blackburn Rovers, of course, as I said, but I'm very, very disappointed, you know, about Jones, you know, signing this new 4.5-year deal with Manchester United, because I do actually want Phil Jones to leave Manchester United, as I currently said. We know mainly he has still been a regular, you know, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He has been mainly playing alongside Lindelof, as I said, but I think Bay and Lindelof, you know, complement each other fantastically well in our central defensive area. Phil Jones, I think since he's been here, has made over 200 odd appearances in all competitions. Of course, he's won everything in English football, you know, since he's been here as well. But he did confirm yesterday he has agreed a new 4.5-year deal with Manchester United. But obviously, you know, Scott McTominay signed a new contract, you know, back in January. I was disappointed about as well, because he's a fringe player as well. He's Scott McTominay, so I was disappointed about that. I was happy that we got, you know, Anthony Martial a new 5-year deal with an option of a further year, you know, in the January transfer window as well. I was very, very happy, you know, we got him a new 5-year deal with an option of a further year as well, Anthony Martial. Obviously, he's now receiving over £200,000 a week, so we have increased his wages, you know, as I currently said. So that was very, very good news, as I currently said. Chris Smalling, obviously, early on in the season, you know, signed a new contract at Manchester United as well, as that already updated you. But obviously, there's other players, we do want to get new contracts at Manchester United as well, and give you a bit of an update on in relation, to a few of the contracts that are going on. In relation to Ander Herrera as well, it has officially confirmed that Manchester United are close to getting him a new 1-year extension at Manchester United. Because reportedly negotiations have been progressing, over regarding of Herrera, signing a new contract with Manchester United. I think he's currently on £75,000 a week at the moment. He's Ander Herrera. He has been here since 2014. Of course, he has been here good 4.5 years, 5 years now. As Ander Herrera, and I would love us, to get him a new contract at Manchester United because his current deal, does expire in this. But I think he's been a very, very consistent player, since we got him in 2014. Ander Herrera, and I think especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, his form has been rejuvenated as Herrera's. He's getting more regular in the team. He complements our midfield very, very well. Alongside Herrera and Matic. There's Ander Herrera. So I do think he has played a big part in the team. So hopefully, we can get him a new contract as well. In relation to Ashley Young, reports were coming out the other day saying we are close to agreeing him a new 1-year extension at Manchester United as well. Obviously, again, we're not going to be willing to offer him a long-term contract considering that he is age 33. Is Ashley Young. I think Ashley Young's past it now, in my opinion, as I currently have said. But he's been one of the longest servants here at Manchester United, as Ashley Young, because he's been here a good 7-8 years now as Ashley Young. Made just under 300 odd appearances in all competitions. Obviously won everything in English football as well as Ashley Young. But Ashley Young reports saying that we're close to agreeing him a new 1-year contract term extension, worth around I think £110,000 a week. But he has been here since 2011. We got him from Villa for around Aston Villa for around £17 million, as I said. But he's obviously mainly been our first choice right back as Ashley Young. He's obviously been first choice over there, Antonio Valencia, as I said. But Ashley Young, obviously mainly a right winner, before. But obviously most recently, we just operate Ashley Young as a right back as well. But reports are coming out saying that we've been in more negotiations and we are close to getting Ashley Young a new 1-year extension on his contract. In relation to David De Gea as well, reports have been coming out about David De Gea as well, saying that reportedly Manchester United have had breakthrough in negotiations, of getting De Gea a new long-term deal at the club. Reports were coming out yesterday saying that Man United, were close to, getting David De Gea a new 5-year deal at Manchester United, worth around just under £400,000 a week. I think it's around £375,000 or £380,000 a week, which will potentially make him the highest paid goalkeeper in world football. Overall, make him around the ninth highest best paid player as well. So he'll be the 9th highest paid player, will David De Gea, all in all. But obviously the most, the highest paid goalkeeper, David De Gea, he will be in world football, if he does sign this new 5-year deal, as I said. Obviously last year we activated a 12-month extension on his current contract term, as that is confirmed. But he's set to be agreeing a new 5-year deal worth around just under £400,000 a week, which is very, very good news, because obviously Man United have been in more negotiations over it, as I said. And David De Gea has been a very, very good servant at the club. He's been here since 2011. He's one of the longest serving, players at Manchester United as well. Is David De Gea. He's been here a good 7-8 years now. Of course, he's won everything in English football. He's made over 300 odd appearances, in all competitions. He's won the club's player of the year 4 out of the last 5 seasons as well. He's won the Matt Busby player of the year, quite a few times as well as David De Gea. We know at one point he was on the brink of joining Madrid in 2015, but he didn't. And obviously, it did say before that Paris Saint-Germain and Juventus were currently interested in David De Gea. I think he's on around just over £200,000 a week now. But if he does sign this new 5-year deal, he's going to get a massive increase in his current wages as well as David De Gea. But I think he's committing his long-term future in Manchester United, which is very, very good news, as I currently said. I think he's committing his long-term Manchester United, which is very, very good news. We're also been in talks, of getting Juan Mata a new deal at Manchester United as well. Obviously, it did say Man United reportedly offered him a new 1-year extension on his current contract, because again, he's aging up. He's 30 odd years of age. He's 30 years of age actually. He's Juan Mata. We know mainly hasn't been first choice, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Juan Mata under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as we all currently know. There were speculation, of like Barcelona were interested in him. Barcelona had negotiations with his representatives. It did say also Arsenal had also showed an interest in Juan Mata as well. But I hope Juan Mata does sign this new 1-year extension, to be quite honest with you. I think Juan Mata's keen on a 2-year deal, as I clearly said, but I think Manchester United are only willing to offer him a 1-year extension. But Juan Mata's been a very, very good servant in English football. He's been in the Premier League a lot of years now. He's been in the Premier League a good, at least 8 years now. This was obviously including his 3 years he had with Chelsea. And since he's been here, he's made over 200 other appearances. Of course, won everything in English football apart from the Premier League. And that's the only thing Juan Mata hasn't won, is the Premier League. And that's a shock indeed, because that's the only thing Juan Mata hasn't won, is the Premier League, as we all currently know. That's the only thing Juan Mata has not won. But hopefully somewhere online we can get him a new 1-year extension on his current contract, because obviously when Juan Mata was a lot younger in his prime, he played under Renre for 4 seasons, as we all know, with Valencia, and he actually began his career in Spain, so he had a lot of experience of playing in Spain, when he was a lot younger in his prime. So I think he does admit that he does miss Spain, Juan Mata, as I currently said. But we have been in talks of getting him a new 1-year extension at the club as well. Obviously, in terms of Marcus Rashford as well, obviously want to get him a new long-term deal at the club as well. Marcus Rashford, who's been in absolutely scintillating form, as I currently said. Marcus Rashford's been in absolutely fantastic form. His current deal does end in 2020. Does Marcus Rashford's, as we all know, his current deal ends in 2020, with an option of a further year, I think. But if we can get him this new long-term deal, he'll get a massive increase in his current wages. Will Marcus Rashford? I think he looks very, very effective. When he's playing centrally, he can play out wide, but I think he looks very, very effective. When he's playing centrally, to be quite honest with you. Being United player since the age of 7, progressing up the ranks fantastically well. Being in the senior squad, since 2016, as I said, as Marcus Rashford. Been in the senior squad since 2016, as I currently said. So hopefully somewhere online, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new long-term deal at the club, because Manchester United, of course, have been in talks of getting him a new long-term deal. And the rare rumours saying that Real Madrid were preparing to put around £100 million for him in the summer. But as I said, since Solsjaker's coming, he's scoring more goals, his finishing's improved, and every area of his game has dramatically improved, since Solsjaker's coming, because obviously he's playing a key role in the Manchester United squad, as I currently said. And I think he's set to be signing a new long-term deal worth around £150,000 a week, so we are willing to more than double his current wages, as that has currently confirmed. But obviously, mainly that Rashford's been first choice over the likes of Lukaku. We know Rashford and Martial have mainly been first choice over Lukaku and Sanchez, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, because as I did say, what Rashford can offer up front, Lukaku is not capable of this. I think Lukaku has slightly rejuvenated his form, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, when Lukaku has had the chance, I think he has rejuvenated his form, to be quite honest with you. I think, when he has been getting the chance, his form's been rejuvenated. He has been getting a couple of assists. He has been, scoring a couple of goals, as Lukaku, as I currently said. But he's slow. His first touch does concern me, to be quite honest with you, and does Romelu Lukaku's. And I do class him as one of our fringe players, Romelu Lukaku, to be quite honest with you. But well proven in the Premier League. He scored a lot of goals, throughout his playing career in the Premier League. He scored, 27 goals in all competitions in his first season, with Manchester United, as well did Romelu Lukaku. But we know mainly Martial and Rashford have been first choice over Lukaku and Sanchez. And Sanchez, I think he needs to improve on his game, because I do think, to be quite honest with you now, Sanchez has lost the yard of pace, in my opinion. I think he has lost the yard of pace. Areas of his game that he definitely does need to adapt as well, Alexis Sanchez, and he wasn't the player that he was at Arsenal, as we all currently know. And he's on over £500,000 a week, so potentially we want to see the best of Alexis Sanchez, when he does get the chance. But as I did currently say, he hasn't been a player, that he currently was at Arsenal. So there is room for improvement for Sanchez. Obviously, he's been here just over a year, and obviously he has had a couple of injuries, as well as Alexis Sanchez, to be quite fair. But I think his form definitely needs to be rejuvenated in his areas of his game that he does need to improve on, as I currently said. But anyway, the main part of this video is I want to update you on that Solskjaer and Marcus Rashford have won monthly awards. Rashford's won the Player of the Month award. Rashford's won the Player of the Month award. Solskjaer's won the Premier League Manager of the Month as well for January, which is very, very good indeed. And Solskjaer's been coming out in the media saying that he said it could take us 2 years to catch Manchester City. He said it will take us probably 2 years, for us to, become title challengers and, to become, title contenders. This is what, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer mentioned in the media, as he currently said. So we are taking things slow, we're not rushing things. We're taking game by game, as I currently said. But I do have confidence that Solskjaer can elevate us to that higher level, get us in that commanding position, where we do want to be. And obviously, we want to see because obviously our vision basically is to be get us our vision is to get us back winning trophies, and obviously our vision is to get us back winning trophies and get us back up there competing, as I currently said. And hopefully, maybe we can do that. Maybe in a year or two's time, when we do get some signings into the club in the summer, as I currently said. So anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider